Rounding a corroded brass compression nut inside a vanity cabinet turns a simple repair into a $3,000 drywall tear-out. A $28 specialized wrench turns that fitting in 90 seconds. But most techs walk past it for a tool truck brand that slips anyway. Here are 7 overlooked tools that solve those jobs, starting with Emerson's foundry in Ohio. Number 1. RIDGID 1017. Picture a cramped vanity cabinet with maybe 2 inches of working clearance and a headlamp fogging up because there's zero airflow back there. The compression nut you're trying to reach has been corroding since the Clinton administration. A standard adjustable wrench can't even find an angle on it, and if it somehow could, it would round the brass hex corners in about 4 seconds flat. Once that happens, there's nothing left on the nut for any tool to grip. At that point, most techs start eyeing the wall because cutting it open is starting to look like the only option. And on a bathroom like this, that means drywall, possibly tile, and a restoration bill that can run past $3,000 over what started as a 40-cent fitting. The RIDGID 1017 Basin wrench is built specifically for this job. Many plumbers assume all RIDGID tools come from the same place, but they don't. Red RIDGID power tools and vacuums are made overseas under a license by Tektronix Industries. RIDGID hand tools are completely different. They are forged right here in America by Emerson Electric at their plant in Elyria, Ohio. This 1017 wrench is a heavy-duty American hand tool, not an imported power tool. The spring-loaded hook jaw is drop-forged from 4140 steel. The teeth are heat-treated extra hard so they can bite into brass supply nuts without wearing down. The long handle is made slightly softer on purpose. If the handle were as hard as the teeth, heavy pressure would make it snap in half. Keeping the handle tough and flexible lets the tool bend under high pressure, while the jaw teeth stay hard enough to dig in. The teeth are cut at a 15-degree angle for ratcheting in dark spaces, and the shaft fits tightly so it does not wobble under pressure. So, when people complain that RIDGID quality has gone downhill, they're thinking of a TTI-licensed cordless vacuum, not the domestic forged tool sitting in your bag. RIDGID nails domestic forging on the Basin wrench, but a Basin wrench only solves one clearance problem. The next question is, what happens when you need a pipe wrench that can convert length mid-task without carrying 3 separate wrenches on your belt? Number 2. Milwaukee cheater wrench. Every plumber who's spent time on commercial jobs has lived through this moment. You're breaking loose a seized black iron fitting. The pipe wrench in your hand isn't giving you enough leverage, and the trade's oldest workaround kicks in. Slide a piece of scrap pipe over the handle as a cheater bar. It works, but it's improvised. It's dangerous, and it snaps handles more often than anyone likes to admit. Milwaukee looked at that exact bad habit and built a tool around it instead of pretending it doesn't happen on job sites every day. The Cheater Convertible Pipe Wrench, Model 48-2-2-7314, is engineered by Milwaukee in Wisconsin and manufactured in Taichung, Taiwan, through Specialized Precision OEMs. While Milwaukee shares a parent company, TTI, with the licensee for RIDGID power tools, the Cheater is pure Milwaukee engineering. The hook jaw is forged from 4140 chromoly steel with hardened teeth that dig into iron pipe. The extension handles use aircraft-grade aluminum with a quick locking thread system. Standard wrenches bend or break when techs slide a scrap metal pipe over the handle for extra leverage. Milwaukee built this handle to hold 550 foot-pounds of force, giving you the power of 3 heavy wrenches in a single tool without damaging the jaw. Milwaukee solves the leverage problem on round pipe, but what happens when the fitting isn't pipe at all? What happens when it's a rounded, stripped brass compression nut that any standard jaw just slides right off of it? Number 3. Channellock 410. Brass compression fittings are soft, and that's the entire problem. Standard tongue and groove pliers are built to grip 2 flat, roughly parallel surfaces, and a compression nut on a round pipe simply doesn't offer that geometry. Chew on it a few times with the wrong tool, and you've turned a quick repair into a full fitting replacement, because there's nothing left on that nut for anything to grab onto. Channellock has been solving this exact problem since 1886, when it started life as the Champion Bolt Clipper Company. The company remains family-owned and manufactures their V-Jaw Nutbusters in Meadville, Pennsylvania. When you buy a Channellock, the company that forged the steel is the name on the handle. The 410 and 414 V-Jaw Nutbuster series are forged from high carbon, C108. O, American steel running 0.75 to 0.88% carbon, and 0.60 to 0.90% manganese for fatigue resistance under repeated hand pressure. Channellock applies a patented laser heat treatment process directly to the jaw serrations, pushing tooth surface hardness up to 58 to 63 HRC, while the body stays at a more flexible 40 to 45 HRC, so it can absorb heavy grip force without snapping in your hand. The angled V-jaw geometry wraps around the fitting to create 3 points of contact instead of 2, which is the actual mechanical reason it grabs a rounded pipe or a damaged brass compression nut that a standard flat-jawed plier slides right off of. On top of that, Channellock uses a patented Permalock rivet joint instead of a traditional nut and bolt pivot, eliminating the failure mode where a joint gradually loosens under repeated lateral torque, something a standard threaded pivot is prone to after enough heavy use. Try the bite test yourself side by side. Put a standard flat plier on a rounded brass fitting and watch it slip. Then put a 410 on that same fitting. The 3-point V-jaw wraps around the round profile and turns it cleanly because it was built for curved fittings, not flat surfaces. At $26, it does a job that flat-jaw pliers simply cannot do. Channellock keeps you from rounding a nut in the first place. But once that ferrule is genuinely seized onto the pipe behind it, who's making the tool that pulls it off without crushing the copper wall underneath? If tracing corporate parentage and forensic steel specs like this is actually changing which tool you reach for on the truck, that's the whole reason this channel exists. Subscribe if that's useful to you. This channel exists to decode the brand tax hiding in plain sight on every pegboard in America, one forensic teardown at a time. Number 4. Pasco 4661. A seized brass compression olive on soft half-inch copper tube looks small until you actually try to remove it with the wrong tool. Grab pliers and start twisting, and you'll crush the copper wall or nick it badly enough that the whole section needs to be cut out and resoldered. Grab a hacksaw to cut the ferrule off, and you're risking the exact same damage, turning a 5-minute fix into a recut. This kind of problem is specific and low volume enough that big conglomerates simply won't build a dedicated tool for it, which is exactly the gap Pasco's specialty and manufacturing has occupied since 1936. Pasco now operates under Professional Plumbing Group, running distribution and light manufacturing out of Linwood, California, and Curtis Bay, Maryland. Focusing on niche, high-efficiency plumbing items, larger tool companies ignore because the total market volume doesn't interest them. That's not a knock on Pasco. It's precisely why Pasco still exists as an independent specialty player instead of disappearing into someone else's catalog. The 4661 ferrule puller is machined from solid brass and steel with a heat-treated center bolt. The body threads directly into the existing compression nut, while the center bolt pushes against the end of the copper tube. As you turn the bolt, it pulls the nut and seized brass ferrule straight off the pipe, without crushing or scratching the copper underneath. This tool sells through standard supply houses for around $30. A tool truck selling a similar specialty puller marks up the price up to 8 times what it costs to make. The extra money you pay on a tool truck pays for the driver's fuel, not stronger steel. Pasco handles ferrule extraction on copper, but who's cutting that same copper pipe inside a wall cavity, so tight you can't even fit your fingers in, while half the industry is still using thumbscrew tubing cutters designed in the 1970s? Number 5. Superior Tool AutoCut. Every remodel plumber has lived through this scenario. You're cutting copper inside a wall cavity with maybe half an inch of clearance around the pipe. A standard tubing cutter needs manual tightening with a thumb screw between every single rotation. And in a cavity that tight, you can't physically get your fingers back in there to adjust it after each pass. So you end up fighting the tool as much as you're fighting the pipe. The Superior Tool AutoCut solves this with a mechanism most plumbers have genuinely never picked up, because it was built specifically around this confined space problem. It was historically developed in Cleveland and Sagamore Hills, Ohio, and is now produced under Professional Plumbing Group and Marconi, offering a specialized self-adjusting radial mechanism in a tubing cutter category otherwise dominated by commodity manual clones. The cutter wheel is machined from high-carbon alloy tool steel, from the same bearing grade steel family used where components need to survive thousands of repeated cycles without dulling. That wheel is vacuum heat treated, and cryogenically tempered to 60 to 62 HRC, hard enough to shear copper tubing cleanly across thousands of revolutions without rolling the edge. The real mechanical innovation, though, is the internal, constant tension coil spring assembly. It applies continuous inward radial pressure to the cutter wheel frame automatically as you rotate the tool around the pipe. So there's no manual screw knob tightening required at all. That's exactly what makes it usable in a wall cavity too tight to reach into between passes. The spring-tensioned frame keeps constant pressure on the pipe automatically, finishing the cut hands-free where a manual thumb screw leaves you stuck. An estimated 80% of plumbers are still reaching for a manual thumb screw design dating back to the 1970s, while this spring-loaded, cryogenically hardened cutter sits on the same shelf for less money. Cutting copper solves the old pipe problem, but what happens when the job in front of you is PEX instead? And direct-to-consumer factories in China are offering professional-grade crimping internals straight to end users online? Number 6. IWISS/iCrimp. PEX crimping is where the direct-to-consumer shift in this industry becomes impossible to ignore. Zhejiang IWISS Electric Co. was founded between 2008 and 2011 and now produces over 850,000 hand tools annually out of manufacturing facilities in Yueqing and Zhuji, backed by an R&D and testing center in Hangzhou called the Blue Giant Tool Testing Laboratory. Through its direct-to-consumer subsidiary brand, iCrimp, IWISS skipped the traditional Western wholesale and retail pipeline entirely, selling patented PEX crimpers straight to mechanics and trade professionals through e-commerce at prices that look almost suspicious next to a name-brand equivalent. The crimping jaws are cut using precision wire-EDM from 4140 chromoly steel forgings, and the crimp dies are heat-treated so they do not stretch under pressure. The handle linkage gives you heavy leverage, holding jaw closure tolerances within 0.0015 inches to pass official plumbing codes. It costs about $15 to make this crimper in the factory. Big brands sell to distributors who sell to stores, marking the price up to $135. IWISS sells this tool directly to you online for $38. It meets the exact same building codes and uses the same hardened steel jaws. You're just skipping 3 middleman markups. IWISS solves the PEX connection, but what about the plastic pipe itself? Who's cutting Schedule 80 PVC without crushing or ovalizing the wall, using blade steel sourced straight out of Solingen, Germany? Number 7. Rothenberger ROCUT 42 TC thick wall Schedule 80 PVC pipe punishes a bad shear blade in a way most techs don't fully appreciate until they've lived through it. A cheap ratchet shear crushes the pipe wall on the way through instead of cutting it cleanly, leaving an ovalized, out-of-round end that won't seat properly in a fitting. That means a recut wasted material and wasted time on every single bad shear you make. Rothenberger is an Austrian manufacturer that competes directly with RIDGID in the European commercial market, building high-end plumbing tools in-house rather than rebranding cheap imports. The ROCUT 42 TC's blade is fabricated from Solingen-sourced AISI 420 or 440C stainless steel. Solingen being the German region historically known for producing surgical and razor-grade steel, which tells you something about the precision tolerance this blade is held to. It's PTFE coated to reduce cutting friction through dense Schedule 80 PVC PEX and ABS pipe, and it goes through a precision ice-hardening cryogenic process that brings the edge to 56 to 58 HRC, hard enough for razor sharpness, while staying chip-resistant even in freezing job site conditions. The ratchet mechanism uses what Rothenberger calls an instant change system, a stainless steel ratchet rack with fine-pitch, heat-treated drive pawls, paired with a curved blade geometry that exerts progressive shear force as it closes. That progressive angle is specifically what prevents thin-wall plastic pipe from crushing or ovalizing mid-cut. Run the comparison directly. Cut a length of thick wall Schedule 80 PVC with a standard ratchet shear, and watch the blade crush and ovalize the pipe end on the way through, forcing a recut. Run the same pipe through the ROCUT, and the PTFE-coated Solingen blade shears clean on the first pass, holding a round profile all the way through, even in cold job site conditions that would make a lesser blade brittle and prone to chipping. Plastic pipe shears are not all the same. Cheap blades crush thick PVC pipes into an oval shape that causes leaks. German steel made in Solingen stays razor sharp so it cuts straight through without crushing the pipe, giving you a clean joint on the first try. None of these tools are exotic, they're sitting on regular supply house shelves, forged in the exact same plants as the premium brands for a fraction of the cost. The difference between overpaying on a truck and buying straight from the source comes down to knowing who actually built the steel in your hand and what it's rated to survive. Tap the video on your screen right now to keep decoding these factory supply chains and stop paying the brand tax.